Layla Caliph, Shakespeare in Love.
I love that song.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
It's a nice song.
It is a beautiful song. Alrighty. Hey, welcome to the Morning Drive with the Flying Dutchman and myself, Lavinia. And we also welcome Matthew Nixon, our financial expert. And this is episode 3 of our great series to help you and I as we gain more knowledge and help with our financial literacy one-on-one.
We're live on, Facebook and on YouTube. So if you have questions during the discussion, please drop them through. Matthew, thanks for joining us again.
Hey.
Thanks, you guys, for having me again. How are you?
Really good.
Very good.
Really good. And you know what? I think today's topic is something that all of us should be aware of because, hey, everyone has a CPF account.
That's right. And how can
Even
you
if-
use your CPF to invest in your future? That's
right.
basically what we're going to be talking about today. You've got a bit of a quiz for us to begin, as you
Yes.
usually do.
Early morning
Scary.
quiz. You
Okay.
guys are probably...
Scary.
No, let's do it.
So
I'm
this
ready.
is to set the mood. So I just wanted to kind of open up with some questions. So we will start with the first question is, according to Mercer, there was recent rankings for the best pension systems. Where did Singapore rank globally?
I'm very pro Singapore. I'm going to say number 1.
So A, first place, B, fifth place, C, 10th place, D, fourth place.
I'm going to say number 1. We're Singapore. We can't be anything but number 1.
Okay, this is a tough one. Yeah, I'm very pro Singapore as well, but I would choose, what is it? First, fifth, 10th,
Or fourth place.
fourth place.
The answer is fourth place, D, correct.
Really?
Terrible.
Yes.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
So Singapore
Terrible.
pension, the CPF ranked fourth with 80.8 points behind the Netherlands, Iceland, and Denmark, and just narrowly beat out Israel.
Wow.
Yes.
Really?
And this was the first time in the 17-year index history that Singapore got an A grading. So,
Oh, good for
and
them.
they are top in Asia. So this is CPF system is
Good
doing its job.
It's doing really
Yeah,
well.
doing very well.
Okay.
Second question, according to the Bureau of Economic Analysis, the personal savings rate in the United States, which is the percentage of disposable income saved each month, was around 4.4 to 4.6 in
Okay.
2025, which means the average American earning $5,000 after tax would save roughly $200 to $250 per month. In comparison, how much does the average Singaporean, based on 5K income, save? About 6% of their salary, A, B, 22% of their salary, C, 38% of their salary, or D, 18% of their salary.
Oh.
Everybody is always saying life in Singapore is tough. Everything is so expensive.
Right. I am going to go with.
I'm going to go with 6%.
I'm going to go with 22%.
Ooh, the answer is actually C.
Oh,
38,
Really?
yes.
Oh,
wow.
So
well
an
That's
done.
a lot.
So an estimate is where employers contribute 17%,
Right.
and then the employees 20%, putting
Right.
aside 37% for CPF. And on top of that, Singaporeans are saving roughly 500 to 1,000 on
So
their
about
own,
double the
averagely.
US
Yes,
average.
so around
Wow.
Well done.
yes, so
Singapore.
we are putting money away for a rainy day.
Wow, that's really
compared
good.
to US,
So
we're 4 to 5%.
We're a nation
yeah.
of squareless.
That's right. And just the last question, this is true or false.
Okay.
So like Singapore's CPF, Switzerland's national pension system, their three-pillar system, is entirely funded through individual saving accounts that earn guaranteed money-back interest. True or false?
True.
True, yeah.
Actually, Angela's false.
No, what do you
Yes.
mean?
Wait,
We're getting them all wrong today. What's this?
So Switzerland's system is a bit more complex.
Oh,
Their
okay.
occupational pension is employer-based and partially market-linked. So you're going to get, meaning that fluctuates, so you're not going to get the guaranteed fully funded,
Oh, wow.
that government-backed
Yeah.
percentage like you're going to get
Like
in
you get
Singapore.
here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That is really interesting, and I think it's really like setting the tone as we go into our discussion about how you can use your CPF to invest in your future. We're going to head over to Facebook right now. Come and join us on our Facebook Live.
1FM.
Okay, so we're with Matthew and we're talking about using your CPF.
That's right. Remember, answer the very simple question that's going across your screen right now for our Facebook Live, and you can win for yourself that bundle of 3 tickets to a spice mixing workshop with GS Spices that is worth $165.
So, speak to anybody in Singapore and they will say it's locked up money. That's how people see CPF in Singapore. What are the real pros and cons of using CPF for investing?
That's a very good question. So let's start with the 5 pros. So you have for investing your CPF, right?
Sure.
You have higher returns that you can get because we know that the OA account gives you 2.5% and the SA gives you between 4 to 6% depending on your age range. And then other one is you're leveraging your long-term horizon. So if you're, especially in the younger ages, you have that platform to compound and actually invest into the market. So your runway is a bit longer. So that's always a positive. The diversification aspect of it. So if you're just kind of looking to move away from property and cash savings that you put in there, you can use the CPF investment scheme in order, we'll talk about that a little bit later, to actually have access to global markets, other asset classes. And then also with investing, a lot of the funds that are in there have professional managed, right? So you're getting the expertise of fund managers that you could actually leverage off of. And then I think the 5th one is preserving your cash, right, for other investments, right? So if you keep your cash liquid for other goals, then you can use your CPF, your OA, or your SA to invest and use that as well, and keep that kind of emergency fund that we've talked about, that 3 to 6 months in your portfolio aside from your CPF.
Right.
Okay.
So of course, there's cons, of course,
Sure.
And there's 6 points that I'd like to mention. So one is the underperformance, the risk of underperformance, right? There has been some statistics done that 60% of people who actually go into to invest their CPF do not beat the standard odds of 2.5%.
Sure.
There's lots of reasons for that. There's also the capital risk that is actually you're losing your value of your money by investing in that. So you're going to kind of not beat the market, as like I said. Then this is where fees and charges of what you're getting into. If you're investing in something that you don't know the fees and what's being charged on that, you're going to lose money as well. And then you have the number 4, the psychological factor. This is safe money. And some people, because it's safe money, they play around with it. They think it's monopoly money. And then they end up taking risks that they probably shouldn't be taking. Number 5 is opportunity costs, where you can reduce your OA balance. And you really want to keep that because as it grows, it compounds. 2.5%. I know it's not very sexy, but it does work for you.
It does.
And then number 6 is kind of the limited universe of what you're allowed to invest in. So maybe you might have opportunities to invest in private assets over. So when you're investing in the CPF investment scheme, you might have limited options compared to outside. So those are the cons.
Okay. What are some, the most common mistakes or even misconceptions that you see that Singaporeans actually have when they're trying to invest their CPF savings? I mean, what you just mentioned there, it could do with one of the cons, right? Because it's you can only how you invest, right? Which ones you're allowed to invest in, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what are these common mistakes or misconceptions?
So a lot of people, when you're talking about CPF investing, is one question is I'm worried that I don't have enough money for retirement. That I'm not going to be getting enough. So I think the concept is that CPF is your foundation. You still got to build pillars 2 and 3. So that means you really need to look at your housing. You need to look at where you're putting your money, cash contributions, where you're putting SRS accounts we'll talk about in a bit, insurance and passive income strategies that are really going to help build on that. So this is the groundwork. Use this as your foundation, a good concrete foundation. That is the most important. Another one where, like you said, you feel that it's locked up and you need to, where you need to use it. CPF is designed specifically. It is really keeping your future self from presenting your spending needs in your present. So it really is buffering. It is keeping your present self from going out and making those big purchases and actually saving around. So think of it that way. It is really there, and it does allow you to actually spend. You can invest it, you can use it for housing, education. So don't think of it. It's you're handcuffed by not being able to do this. You do have options to do it. It's just that yes, it's locked in, but it's really keeping it from doing those probably expenditures you probably don't need right now.
Bad debt.
Bad habits.
Yes.
Bad debt. So from your experience, what are the main concerns that Singaporeans bring up when it comes to CPF? I mean, how do you reassure or guide them?
So one of the two things too is that the interest rates might be too low, and that you're really trying to. There's some ego there. People say I can invest better myself. I think people are getting a lot more, financial literate in the markets right now, especially these days. But you just want to say that this is conservative by design. The CPF system is, you're letting the CPF compound guaranteed. And then use your other kind of, your other investments to kind of do into ETFs and go into maybe ILPs. So that's one thing, is trying to beat the market and trying to sit there and really thinking that you're smarter than the market. But this is to make sure that you're playing it safe so you have something and don't lose everything.
Right. Question on our Facebook says, I suppose you can only use your OA, not your SA. So can you use both?
For the investment, yes, you can. You have to have this right amount of levels in there to invest. Okay, but
so you've got to reach a certain level before you can use them both.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. CPF. I want to make it work harder. How can someone realistically make their CPF money grow faster? Is it possible to beat the 4% return and do it safely?
So this is a very, I would say if you have a long runway to do this in, I think some of the ways you can is if you maybe get into low cost ETFs, passive ETFs, to where you have a good 10-year runway to kind of beat the market volatility. It's really important though that I think another part that I want to mention is that people lose money is because people panic. So if there's a downturn in the market, someone says something that causes news to happen, a flash crash, is to really sit there and let the market ride out, because if you start pulling your money out, you're going to miss when it goes back up and you're going to hit those peaks. So you need to just be patient and keep your money in there. So one of the best ways to kind of beat that 4% is to find different markets to where, it's say like, tech right now is very hot right now. So you can ride the tech wave, the data center wave that's, this build that's going across the globe. Try to find low income ETFs that actually have or even active ETFs that have low costs to try to ride this out to try to beat the 4%.
Well, that's very interesting. I mean, you're pointing out about a very key, human behavior, right? I mean, we all respond to fear. And so you're saying that it is possible.
It is possible.
To any downturn, but you have to be able to stay in the game, ride it out. Don't do anything impulsive.
Exactly.
And it will reward you.
Yes.
Because what goes down will eventually come up. Is that safe to say?
Is that right?
That is safe to say, but you have a very long term. So if you're really looking to ride that, go into equity funds if you've got the 10-year plan. If you've got more short term, go into really maybe some easier if you're 3 to 4 years, do cash market, money market funds. You're not going to probably get that 4%, but at least you're compounding on top of that.
Okay.
If you're really aggressive, geographical location. So if you want to go into an India fund or into a Thailand fund, but make sure you're really kind of getting in early. So start these kind of strategies when you're in your 20s or 30s.
Okay.
Don't start them in your 40s and 50s.
And always check with an expert before you get into
this.
Yeah,
know what you're investing in.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the most important.
Something that flies under the radar is SRS, Supplementary Retirement Scheme.
Yep.
Can you break that down for us? And who should consider it? How does it actually benefit someone?
Yes. So this one I'm really excited about. So this is also for the foreigners out there in Singapore who actually have access to this. So the Supplementary Retirement Scheme, SRS, this allows you to have short-term benefits as well as long-term benefits.
Sure.
So what this means is that you can actually get immediate tax relief, and it's tax-deductible dollars. For every dollar you put in, you get tax deductible.
Okay.
So for Singapore and PRs, it's $15,300 per year max. Foreigners, $35,700 per year.
Okay. We're just going to pause right there as we hit back on air, and then we'll revisit this question again. Come and join us on 1FM. Ooh, Quincy Jones there, featuring Charles May, and this is I No Corita. I'm sorry, you can't just say the title.
No one
it's
can.
One of those song titles where you have to sing it out, right? If not, it just sounds weird.
Absolutely.
But what does not sound weird is what you're telling us as we ask the question that you pointed out earlier on Facebook Live. Once again,
the Supplementary Retirement Scheme and how it flies under the radar. Who should actually be considering this? people with extra cash, or
think of it as
what?
a way if you're going to be in Singapore for foreigners. I said there's a component for them, but you
Sure.
can actually withdraw that as well.
Sure.
I would say look at this as maybe you're kind of in that 30 to 40s range where you guys are kind of making some more money. You're really sitting there thinking that like, hey, I've got some things saved up.
Yeah.
Your spending power's going, and you're really saying I can sit there and make this work for me. And the SRS is very good because you can actually invest into a lot of different underlying securities. The range is actually quite huge.
Okay.
One good one that's really good is actually poems.
You've mentioned that before as well.
So you can go and you've got access to ETFs. You can use it to buy insurance. You can buy it to use unit trusts. So the amount of, and then while you're putting that money in, you're reducing your income on your yearly, that goes to the IRS.
Yeah.
And while you're doing that, you're getting a lower tax bill. And then you get another benefit is when you actually pull this money out at retirement age, you get 50% deductible of what you pull out. So if you pull out $40,000, you get only $20,000 of it's taxed. So later in life, you're actually saving money when you're older, and you're having to pay less tax on your income when you're in your retirement age. So you're getting benefits now in your present time, and you're also helping your future self, which I think is fantastic.
Wow, 50% like tax deductibles.
That's
quite a lot. Yeah.
Okay, so what are some practical, quick money-saving hacks? Do you have any that people can implement today to make the most of their CPF?
Yes, there's a few. One of them, which I came across, when researching this topic, is you top up your MetaSave account to accrue more now to pay for future premiums that are going to get more expensive.
Yep.
So your healthy self in your 20s and 30s, you're actually kind of putting money into the MetaSave account, so that when you get to the point where over time you're accruing on that 4% for the MetaSave account, that's actually helping to actually pay for future premiums. Which I think is very helpful.
Okay.
And also is just to top up your SA account. That is really important, because if you're doing this, do you know that if you actually put in $200 a month, and you top up at the 4% over 30 years, you're going to have an extra $139,000 in your retirement.
139,000
by just doing $200 a month.
Hey, that's very
so that is
significant.
So just think if you keep doing that more and more, you're just going to keep adding more. So that is almost that's a pretty big salary or money to have in your future self.
So I think like SA is the special account. And you're saying that, okay, even if I didn't start doing this in my 20s, just start now. Your point is to just start now.
You start at any point if you're getting that kind of interest.
And any amount that you can put in will make a difference in the long term, right? Especially when you retire.
Okay, we got a question on our Facebook, not related to, well, it is related and yet it's not. What's your point of view on investing in property in JB? And do you foresee CPF allowing Singaporeans to invest in JB property? Do you think that'll ever happen?
Okay, from a personal perspective, if you follow the news and you know that there's been development, and we're talking about the highway train, the high rail train.
Yeah.
I would say, it's probably you see cities grow all the time.
Yeah.
I for personal experience, I lived in Hangzhou, China before I moved to Singapore, and I saw how they were trying to merge Shanghai and Hangzhou together, and they put a higher speed trade to make that happen.
Okay.
So yes, I would personally, I would consider it if you have that extra cash, you want extra property, because you never know what's going to happen in the future. I don't think that. To use CPF, I don't think that will happen, just because of the whole. It gets complicated if you have Singapore, you're saving your retirement pension, and then you're putting it in the market. Because I think that's what a lot of experts, especially when you listen to people in the CPF, they are really say that do not touch your OA and SA account. That is the line, is because it's just safe haven.
Right.
Don't use it to spend on other riskier assets.
All right. We're going to head back to our Facebook Live because we've got more questions to tackle with Matt. So come and join us then. Alrighty, have you answered the question on our Facebook Live? Let me give you my fierce face. Answer it right now so that you can win for yourself this amazing bundle of 3 tickets, 3 spots to our very exclusive spice mixing workshop with GS Spices happening on the 31st of October at 7:30 p.m. right here at SPH. You can come to where I work. I'll be hosting it. And this is worth $165. And we learn everything we need and should know about spice mixing.
Alrighty. So another big topic is this cash top up for yourself and for your spouse.
Right.
You know, they tell you, do it every year. Do these top ups actually save money through tax relief and long-term compounding?
The short answer is yes.
Okay.
And I want to also throw out for any so I'm American, so I have to pay taxes in both Singapore and
you get double tax.
So I get double tax. So for me, you know, to put into my account and top up my wife for an extra 16,000. I know there's limitations, but to have that, you know, reduce my income is hugely helpful. And I think also too is that now you can just top up your spouse. You can actually do it for your parents, your parent-in-laws, your siblings.
Ooh.
So, you know, putting that money aside into their accounts helps them, especially if you've got a parent or something that coming to retirement where that actually is going to be useful for them to start, you know, building up so they have more retirement for them. And then actually, you know, you're kind of helping out family members. So I said, yes, definitely use that. I think it's a no-brainer. I know it's $8,000 is a lot, but just think about the tax you're also saving, because I think that's also
true.
very, you know, using CPF as a tax tool is something that we kind of also need to kind of use that as keep that in our memory, that it's not just about savings, it's also to help us reduce taxes.
That's a very, very good point. I think most
interesting.
of it, I don't even think of that, right?
No.
Yeah,
neither
so
do I.
that's a really good point. And as you pointed out earlier on, you can make very significant savings on your taxes. So remember what Matt tells you, okay?
Should listeners think of CPF as forced savings, or should that be the case, or as a way of saving money for their futures while getting immediate tax benefits?
This one is, I think that we need to think as CPF, it gives stability. It's not excitement. To think of it as your bond component in your portfolio.
Yep.
It's a guaranteed base that you just build upon. Like I said, you need to build, this is your foundation, build it 2 or 3 pillars by doing, you know, moving into others like, you know, equities and other balanced funds. So really think the CPF is an untouchable savings vault and have that mindset that this is what you need to kind of, you know, have that rock in place for your future.
I think a lot of us do think of that, you know, like that whole concept of like, oh, it's locked away. But I think what you're pointing out here is really key, that slight shift in understanding that, yes, it's your safe haven. You can do things with it,
Yeah, exactly.
but what can you do specifically? So it's not locked up, it's not, you know, out of reach, it's not, you know, it can work for you. And I think I need to have that slight shift, and it's a very key slight shift. So thanks for that, Matt. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about words that people may not actually understand. Let's try annuities. A lot of people are unfamiliar with how they work. Can you try and explain it to us in terms of how they complement CPF for retirement?
So annuities, I want to make it very easy for people to understand.
Okay.
Think of them as the anti-insurance. Okay, so you have insurance is that you're actually protecting yourself from dying too soon.
Yes.
Annuities is actually protecting against living too long.
Okay.
So what you want to do is that your CPF Life is probably going to not be enough for you, so you need to have other ways to supplement you. So as older age goes, annuities, you pay a lump sum now for payouts down the road.
Okay.
Right.
And
let me stop you there. Where's the difference between annuities and endowments?
So endowment is more insurance linked, where you can pay a bit of small amounts now to get a lump sum at the very end.
Yeah.
So annuities think about just spreading that cash out. And some of the annuities in Singapore, actually, there's some really good ones that actually pay out for lifetime.
Oh, wow.
So that's where you really want those to kick in. And then you can kind of supplement that with your CPF Life, as well as dividends and passive income.
Yeah.
So this is the building blocks that you need to start doing now, especially probably around your 40s, 50s, 60s even, to start getting these building blocks in place, because life expectancy is actually increasing in Singapore, and it's going to keep increasing.
Yeah.
So you want to be able to get monies in your 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And people are living to 100.
It's scary.
It's crazy how many.
That's true.
How many 100-year-olds actually are in Singapore now.
Hey, David
so
Attenborough is going to be 100 next year.
Next year.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, David Attenborough. I love that guy. Okay. Well, so here's okay. So now I'm understanding a little bit more. Wow, two keywords that were thrown forward to me: endowments and annuities. And I'm just like, what? But now I feel like okay, it makes sense. Now.
I've got to say, endowments worked for me with my children's education.
Yeah.
So when they were very young, I started endowments that paid off when they were ready to do university and higher education. So that burden didn't come from me. It came from the payout from the endowment.
Oh, quick, pat yourself on the back. Well done, FD. Well done.
I think just to get FD to your point, endowments, think of that for children's savings or down the and annuities are for the elderly retirement savings in your older life. Yeah. So think of it that way.
Okay, that's a good way of actually bringing it up. All right. So CPF Life is a very big part of, most Singaporeans' retirement safety net. But, inflation is just going up. Will CPF Life payouts be enough for us to use and live comfortably?
It's a good tool.
Okay.
It is. But you really need to have where your expectations are going to be in retirement. If you're going to have a flash retirement where you're going to do a lot of traveling, you're going to be making big expenditures, it's not enough.
For sure. Okay.
So I think you need to have your personal savings and your investments. Like I said, have the private annuities and also other retirement sources of income.
Yep.
And look at how you want to plan your retirement. So I think retirement planning, we could go into a whole different segment because that's a big one.
Yep.
And I know CPF is part of it, but there's other aspects of retirement. So CPF Life is fantastic. But you really need to start knowing where your expenditures are going to be and start budgeting what your 60s and 70s are going to look like.
Wow.
I think a big question here is a lot of people use their CPF for housing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I personally think a lot of people have used too much of their CPF for housing.
Right.
And that now they say, oh my goodness, I don't have enough to retire.
Yeah.
What do they then do?
That is becoming a large problem that, some people think that their CPF is a piggy bank for their house.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I want to keep it positive that your home is an asset.
Yeah.
I do think that, but it's not liquid cash, right? So I would say some tips for those out there is start replacing, putting money into your OA and SA account to kind of backfill. So to kind of replenish that when you can.
Okay.
So that you're still having your OA and your SA compounding, especially your OA account, your 2%.
Okay.
Because you're going to have to, and if you're thinking about you've over purchased, start actually kind of reassessing to see if you spent too much in your housing.
Sure.
There's no shame in downgrading because I think as people get older, most people do downgrade to smaller places. So maybe think about that. You got your big family home now, but look if maybe you could exit that out after your kids are kind of grown up or whatever.
Yep.
Or think of where you can actually save some money that way.
Okay.
But definitely one trick is to start replenishing your OA when you have a chance.
Okay. No, that's a good
Question
point.
on our Facebook: is it better for children to top up their senior parents' CPF? Or just give them monthly pocket money. Because you say top up CPF, every parent's going to be angry at you.
Yes.
It's an Asian thing.
It's an Asian thing. We give our parents money.
Pocket money and stuff.
What I would do is, and correct me if I'm wrong, I would look at my parents and see what their needs are. And am I giving them too much?
Yes.
And if I'm giving them too much, take that surplus and put it into their CPF.
Yeah.
I
would say that's a very good
strategy.
We'll see where they're spending their money. If it's on necessities, then I understand.
Yeah.
Compromise, maybe do a 50-50 split so that that it's going into some place.
Yeah.
But you're also helping your child too by, that money that they're passing on to their parents, they're still getting taxed on it, right? So if they put it into the CPF, then it's being tracked by the government, it's reducing your income, and then you get a bit of a tax benefit that way.
Well, so it's a bit it's a
win-win situation for the family.
If you're just as opposed to just giving pocket money. Okay.
Right,
All right, we're gonna head back on air. So come and join us as we wrap this really, really great topic up with Matt Nixon. All right.
One more time. One more.
Wrapping up another throwback on 1FM 91.3. Music that's built to last.
Nobody does it like Tony Tennille. So good. Okay, so we're dealing with CPF and how you use it
Yes.
to invest in your future. There are listeners. I mean, we deal with this age group, 40 to 50. How is there a way for them to make up for lost time if they haven't been maximizing CPF, SRS? Is there a way
yes.
at
Yeah, 'cause
that?
I think a lot
at
of us
that
have
age?
made that mistake.
It's never too late for anyone to start
Okay.
kind of building their retirement.
Okay.
So just a few things to start moving your OA balances into your SA account. So if you've got an overflow of OA, which is a
Okay.
2.5%,
Okay.
move it to the SA account because you can actually move that. You can move that to a higher rate, so you get to 4 or 5 to 6% if you're getting older towards 60.
Okay.
So max that out until age 55.
Okay.
Okay. Another one is start investing in the market. So if you don't invest in the market, you need to start investing in market. Of course, look for something that you're comfortable investing in. So
Right.
maybe
The rules again are know what you're investing in. you're saying?
investing in, understand the fees, and understand how that company is making money, so that
Okay.
it's a growth company, and you're not going to be investing into a company that's going to go bust.
Yep.
Would I be right to say that if you're going to do this, particularly if you're in your 40s and 50s, deal with consultants, deal with experts? Doing it on your own is far more risky.
100%. Yeah, especially if you're new and you're really kind of looking to kind of get into the game for the first time.
Yeah.
Another one is easy, is just look at your lifestyle, and if you need to downgrade, one thing is if you don't need the car, maybe it's time to ditch the car, because
That's what I did.
why not?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
cars are so expensive.
Yeah.
And then you need to just budget and make sure you know where you're spending.
Yep.
I heard something recently that a lot of people are trying to keep up with the Joneses, but the Joneses don't really care about you. So
Yes.
you need to really look at that, because
That is
it
really good one.
is.
Yeah.
I think I know the older I get, you think about stuff that you think about in your 20s and 30s, that you need this to be
Yeah,
cool or to
yeah,
fit in, and you
right,
realize when you
right.
get older, I'm
That's
halfway
like,
to
oh.
almost halfway to 50.
Yeah.
That stuff really doesn't matter as much as it
You're
is.
like, oh,
So
nonsense.
and some
Yeah.
of that stuff is very expensive, so
Wow,
that's a
that's
good way.
really
So if you're in your
good.
40s and 50s and you kind of have that, you're trying to do that, yeah, just look for a simpler life, because you don't want that stress in your 60s and 70s. I didn't save enough 20 years ago.
I want to add to that. Keeping up with the Joneses downgraded.
Yeah, a lot of them
Yeah,
did.
they downgraded.
A lot of them
They
did.
gave up
Yeah.
the car. Yeah. They
Yeah.
don't travel as much.
They gave up the car and
Yeah.
moved to retirement
Yeah,
city.
yeah.
One underrated CPF strategy or tip you wish more Singaporeans knew.
One is you really look into the SRS account. I think that's underutilized,
Okay,
and I keep
okay.
harping on this, and maybe just because I'm double taxed, but the tax savings you can get through the right CPF
No, I
way,
didn't
by
realize
giving
that.
to your
Yeah.
spouse, by
Yeah.
putting in yourself,
Yeah.
by putting the money into the SRS account, and
Yeah.
just having that that extra 15,300 that's saved for Singaporeans and PRs, to just put that and reduce that, and then that is going to have tax benefits down the road. That's my probably key highlight for anyone.
Yeah.
Because that to me is a game changer.
Sure. Sure.
Simple mindset change. People are saying CPF is complicated or retirement's too far away. What's a mindset change that they can adopt today?
The CPF complicated, I would say, is that just break it down piece by piece to make it uncomplicated. I know we didn't talk about housing today, but there's lots of different things. We didn't talk about Medicaid, but all of these are in place for the benefit of the good of the people,
Yeah.
right? And like I said to start off the show, right, you guys are saving more than the average American, and there's a crisis in
Yeah,
the States
wow.
because people are not saving enough, and we're wondering what's going to happen with retirement, and I think that's
Yeah.
why a lot of people are pushing for it. I think for the mindset about retirement is too far away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Think of that as a positive thing, because that way you can compound your interest more, and you have such a longer runway.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
That's a
people
good
in
point.
any one of our seats, we'd love that extra 10-year runway.
Mm-hmm.
So really think of it as a positive than a negative, like, oh, it's too far away. That just means you're going to be making more and saving more.
That's a very good point.
Okay, we've got a couple of ways for you to contact Matt if you need to.
That's right, okay? And you can head on over to his Instagram. You want to look for Matthew A. Nixon. Nixon, all in one word. Okay, Matthew A. Nixon, or even his LinkedIn, search for Matthew Alexander Nixon. Okay, this whole video, what we discussed on air and also on our Facebook Live, it is up on our YouTube, our Facebook. So please do watch back. You know, I mean, Matthew, you're the only one where I'm taking notes.
Yes,
okay?
I know. Yeah, only interview. She ever writes everything
Yeah,
down.
because I really want to get this right. You know, it is that
It's true.
important.
It's
yeah,
true.
right?
Very true.
Beat the Joneses. Beat the Joneses. Matt, you know what? I have a solution for you.
What's that?
Become a Singaporean. Join us.
Whoa!
Oh,
Join
Whoa!
us.
I get asked that
Am I
question
putting
a
him on the
lot.
spot?
Actually, I get asked that question
Then
a
you
lot.
only have one set of taxes to take care of.
Make my life a lot easier.
It would be. It would be. Thank you, Matt, so
Thank
much.
you guys for
We
having
look
me on.
forward to having you back on next week.
Yes.
Thank you guys very much.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Why start your day any other way? The Morning Drive, weekdays